Welcome to the NYXUS Podcast. Already another Friday. Holy shit, goes fast. Sarah, Haunted Photography, my co-host. Tonight we have House Lights. Sam, Matthew, Josh, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Can you introduce yourself? Yes, I just said your names, but what do you guys do in the band?
Yep. Yes, I'm Sam. I'm the vocalist for the band.
Yeah. I'm Matt. I do guitar and do a lot of writing.
I'm Josh. I also do guitar, and me and Matt have been working on some new stuff.
Very nice. Very nice. House Lights, the easy questions. Why that name?
Yeah, Sam, you want to take that?
Sure. Yeah. Well, so it's kind of a little bit of discrepancy with this one. Like you can say it's a couple different things about it. For me, Matt and I used to be in a band called Horns Become Halos, and we kind of broke up around 2011. A few years later, back in 2014, we got back together, released a Stages EP under the name House Lights. I really just was thinking about something kind of simple that people would relate to music and live shows and stuff. And we're definitely both very inspired by Thursday. So they had, one of the live albums, Kill the House Lights. So it's kind of a big influence. We kind of brought those together, and that's how we got House Lights.
Very nice, very nice. Sarah, you got a question?
I was gonna ask you about your song Snake Eyes. Can you go a little bit in detail about that song, about your writing process for it? I love that song.
Matt, I don't know if you want to talk about it, compositionally or musically first, or if you want me to.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We normally start with the music first, so that song really stemmed from that main riff that song introduces itself with. It was just playing around trying to come up with I'm not really one that's like huge on like, oh, this song is based on like this one riff, but I wanted to write a riff that was like really catchy and just like a hard modern rock riff. So I came up with that riff, and I kind of built the song from there. And I was looking for, I really like doing these like expansive, huge choruses. So that's a really big, wide open chorus. And I know with Sam's range, I know he usually kills it in a chorus, like just belting vocals. So everything kind of came together. My writing process is pretty quick. I usually just I try to record as I write so that I don't miss out on, good ideas. So I literally will, just open up Logic, throw my guitar in and put it down and see what comes out and try different things. So I like to experiment that way rather than just sit down with my guitar, write something, and then forget about it, and then that idea is gone. I like to actually try everything. So that's kind of my writing process. And then I send the demo over to Sam and see what he comes up with.
So when I get the music from Matt, could be anywhere from a full song to just verse and a chorus. I listen to it a handful of times first to kind of get a feel, a vibe, emotion that I get from the song. Snake Eyes was a fun one because I was able to directly tie it to a personal experience that I had. My wife and I went out to Vegas a couple of years back. We went out there for When We Were Young festival, and on the way back from our trip, I kind of still had that sort of Vegas vibe in my mind. That's why this kind of heavy gambling themology throughout the song. But I kind of approached it as I'm normally kind of very safe and risk averse, but with this song I really was I'm going to put myself in the headspace of somebody who's kind of that gambler, that perennial just risking it all, place it all on black, let it ride, and so that's where a lot of the song came from. Was about sort of risk and the consequence of living a life of risk and really throwing yourself into things kind of without thinking about the consequences after. So that's why there's a lot of transience. That the song is always, you're never stuck in one spot. You are always looking over your shoulder. There's a lot of paranoia involved with that, so that's kind of where the song came from.
That was a really good song. When I first saw it, when I opened up Spotify and downloaded y'all's discography, I'm like, They cover Snake Eyes by Upon a Burning Body, and then I'm like, oh no, not that. It's really good. And your all sound so different, so I don't know why I expected that. You do have that very, like you said, Thursday. It reminds me of music that I used to listen to back when I was really young. And Thursday was one of those bands. And in my mind earlier, I'm like, who do they sound like? And now I know. But all of your songs are really great. I was like finding out what the experience is or what you're tying into the song lyrically and musically. I've always been a big person when it comes to lyrics. I always like hearing the story behind what you feed through.
Yeah, that was a fun one. And a quick shout out to the Zelda mug. Dope.
Thank you. My daughter got this for me. We took her to GameStop for her birthday. And I was looking at all the Zelda merch because she was buying everything Zelda. And she's like, Mom, I'm going to get you that mug. I'm like, no. And I turn around and she's bought me the mug. So thank you.
Well, smart choice.
That's sweet of her. Very sweet of her. Where did music start for you guys? Where did you get that itch? Yeah, it could be far back. It could be a song, an album, a person. Where is it for you guys?
I mean, for me personally, I know what really got me in. I mean, I grew up my whole life like listening to music. My mom had like such a great music taste. Like she would listen to Led Zeppelin, Alanis Morissette, a lot of like the grunge alternative era. So she got me into like the heavy music to kind of start. And then I remember when I was like, I think I was 12 or 13, I heard Linkin Park for the first time on the radio. And I heard, One Step Closer and them screaming on the radio. And I was like, what? You can scream on the radio? Like that's just like something I had never heard before. And it was like an emotion I'd never like felt when listening to music. And, as an 18 teenager, like you have all this like bottled up rage against your parents and the world and who knows what.
Yeah.
And so I totally like aligned with that. So yeah, I would say Linkin Park was like my first big influence, and then a bunch of other new metal bands, and then kind of got into like pop punk and hardcore, post-hardcore and stuff like that. But they were the thing that made me want to learn music. And then for my 13th birthday, I asked for an electric guitar, and I actually still have that guitar hanging on my wall right here. And so that's how I started playing guitar.
Wow.
Go, Josh.
Yeah, I didn't really like. There's like a lot of like twists and turns with this, but I wasn't really like. I liked the idea of music or whatever. Like I grew up early 2000s listening to like one of the country stations up here, and like my mom, I don't know why we kept on going to a bunch of like country concerts up here in like New England and stuff, and so I was really into 90s country, Alan Jackson, Brooks and Dunn, George Strait, Hank Jr., all this other stuff. So I got into that. Then I got into like rap, 50 Cent, Eminem, like Southern gangster rap and stuff. So it was country and rap, and then I like got into like video games and stuff. But and then
totally do country
a bit. Country grammar, dude. But yeah. So like, I'm trying to think of like a good way to put it. Basically, I went to like a lot of country concerts and stuff as a kid and really liked it. And like, I always really feel like I liked the sound of guitar. And then, my dad, he was into like rock, Van Halen, AC/DC, Motley Crue and stuff. And like, kind of stayed away from that for a little bit. And then my uncle got me and my brother's Guitar Hero 3 for Christmas. And I was into video games at that point. I saw Slash. I didn't even think he like was a real person. Like, there was just something about it. I was like, dude, that is so cool. That looks so cool. Everything about it. And then we were talking about something one day, and she was like, "Oh, do you know who that is?" And I said no. I thought he was a video game character, and she's like, "No, it's Slash from Guns N' Roses." And like, I remember seeing the Greatest Hits CD downstairs in our basement. Every time we would move the stuff, or like I'd be over by the CD rack, like I saw the Guns N' Roses, so I literally immediately went down there, listened to it, blew my mind. I remember being on the beach, my dad listened to Paradise City and stuff. So a lot of that came together. My brother was playing guitar, my younger brother, and I thought that was lame. And then like all that happened, and then I was like, and then I took his guitar from him, and I had like a flamenco guitar with like 4 strings on it that I tried to take a guitar lesson like back around when I was like listening to the country stuff, and I only went for one, and so yeah, it was basically that. So, but like when I started getting into music and stuff, it went from country and rap, and then like a little bit of rock, straight up to like Dying Fetus, like just immediately for some
It
reason.
was a hard switch.
Yeah, like what you were saying about like it made you feel a certain way. Like I mean, I'd never heard anything like that. I thought it was funny. I was like, yo, this is, but it was like so cool. And then it just it all went down from there. And, yeah, so that's me. Sorry, it was a little long-winded, but yeah.
No, your country list is my son's playlist on Spotify.
Dude,
It's in order.
Yeah, really, no kidding. Yeah, I mean, like, there's so many other ones that I didn't like mention and stuff, but like, yeah, Willie was like my top. Willie and Tim McGraw was my top listens, like, sort of randomly, I guess, like this year. Actually, not so randomly on Spotify Wrapped. Just saw Tim McGraw in Boston a couple months ago.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, it was nasty. Like,
My mama loved Tim McGraw, and she was never like a concert person, but her little 7-year-old self was like, if he ever gets near here, I'll go see that beautiful man.
hey, you go for the show and you stay for, you know, I couldn't think of anything else.
I could never do country. It wasn't my thing. I was right there on the Lincoln Park bus with him.
Enough about me.
What about you, Sam?
Yeah, so for me, you know, it's kind of started in middle school, I would say, like, you know, 5th, 6th grade. Started, you know, hanging out with sort of like the Outsider crew a little bit, and they were all into like Nirvana and like the Pixies and Misfits. And so I started getting, you know, we had like a guitarist and a drummer, and they're like, oh, we need somebody to play bass. So kind of picked that up and started messing around with them a little bit. A lot of my other influence comes from like my brother, super into like the late 80s, early 90s, like alt grunge stuff, you know, a lot of Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, like Mudhoney, that kind of stuff. That evolved into, you know, all of like the pop punk craze, like early Green Day. And then, you know, you come back to like high school and college, you get all the 2000s Warped Tour era stuff. I mean, though that's the bread and butter. Like all the other stuff was leading up to it. But that's when you're just like, all right, like this is it for me. Like this, you know, just fast guitars and really crisp drums, great vocals, like very emotional lyrics and stuff. That's the stuff that hits me, and like just stuff you can, you know, belt at the top of your lungs with your best friends, and, you know, cruising down the highway and stuff like that. So yeah, so we take a lot of influence from those kinds of bands for sure.
You can hear it in it. Like I said, Thursday, you know, a little bit of a used vibe in there when I first listened to y'all. I really enjoy it. My 13-year-old self would have really loved it. I mean, I do love it, but my younger self would have fully, because punk was my start out.
Yeah.
I mean, mine was all over the place. So
You're fine. It's one of them days, dear.
French Canadian with English music, and my dad was mainly rock. My mom was very French music. So I mean, my playlists are really all over the place. It hurts
You've got
my
a very
head.
wide spectrum when it comes to your music taste.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's
Individually.
good, though. Like,
I mean, why not, right? I'm
you
just
gotta-
doing country now, though. I must
Yeah.
admit, country was not. But being in the South now, it's kind of everywhere. So
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I find myself, you know, challenging myself a lot more now. I definitely was guilty of gatekeeping when I was younger, and I would go through phases of like, oh, this band, no, you can't listen to them. Like only these 3 bands or whatever. But, you know, being able to, like what we do now, where we're using those influences and channeling them into, you know, sort of music that sounds familiar but has a new unique sound. I've really been pushing myself to like, you know, okay, well, what else can I take inspiration from? So I'm definitely, you know, trying to listen. I mean, I listen to pretty much everything but country and like hip hop heavily. Like I'll do some hip hop every once in a while. But anything from prog rock to indie and folk music, some bluegrass here and there. Like there's a lot of really good stuff out there. And Matt and I, through our career, we've always been, we don't necessarily want to be a band in one genre. If something sounds good, it might not fit our project, like a specific project, but we still want to be able to play it. And
there's so many subgenres now that I don't see why you guys can't.
Right.
Just in metal music, the subgenres are crazy.
Yeah, you have 4, 5, 6 genres in one song now, so like there's no boundaries anymore.
No, well, I think it's because music blended and mixed in with each other, and I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like when you see like Falling in Reverse, Tech Nine, and Alex Terrible come in together and make a song. I mean, I was like, okay.
And then he turns around and does a banger with Jelly Roll. You're
Jelly
like,
Roll.
what is happening? You're like,
yeah, I'd never listened to Jelly Roll till that song. I mean, I love his wife. I'm like, he ain't too bad.
Yeah.
They were all laughing at him. He's the last one standing. I called it from the beginning. I said Ronnie was going to be that guy last stand.
Like, he's an asshole, but I really enjoy his music.
That's his thing, though. That's, you know what I mean. Like that's him. That's his persona. You get to talk to him and like and don't be an ass. I won't be an ass. That's how I see it.
Yeah, no, like he's funny as shit, but like he just comes up with some wild stuff.
Yeah.
His parrot thing lately on TikTok's hilarious.
Calling out your fans at your own show is not the best. I don't recommend that usually.
Unless you're Ronnie Red,
no.
He's the only one who could do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
They love the abuse, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't see why somebody would follow someone if they didn't like them.
Yeah.
And it seems like people just go on there to shit talk, and I'm like, dude, if you don't like him, just unfucking follow him. He's funny. I don't agree with what he says.
I don't even think it's about people not liking them at this point. It's, hey, is he going to react to my comment? We're in an age of social media. I mean, anything that could get a reaction, anything that can get you your 5 minutes, that's how I see it. And he's like, all right, I'll bite. It gives me publicity, and you guys love it, so let's do it.
Yeah, no.
How would you guys define success as artists, individually? For you, what is success?
That's a good question. I definitely have. I'm kind of like a perfectionist and a dreamer all in one, which is tough because I want to do everything right away and have it be, perfect and flawless. So it's been a long time coming. I mean, before this current run with House Lights, Matt and I were off for about 14 years, where we didn't really create any. Well, I mean, Matt was still creating. I was not really in music. I kind of fell out, and was doing the life thing for a little while. But it definitely wasn't really making me happy or fulfilled in the way I wanted to do it. So being able to just be back and in front of folks on stage, for me, that is success. Like, I'd love to do some touring and do some other stuff, but just even seeing the success from our album that we released last year, having people all over the globe listening to our music, like, that was pretty cool. Hi, buddy. It's just a cool feeling when you put something out there and you get a really good response. And to just, obviously numbers aren't everything, but it's just cool to see the stats and see, like, people in Australia and Scandinavia and Denmark and, like, down in Brazil and, like, Argentina are listening to your music. It's like, holy crap. Like, this has never happened before.
It is crazy.
So for me, it's just being able to play music that I love, and sharing it with people. I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit more, but for me, the music is a message, and I try to put a lot of myself and what I think we need more of in the world into our music, and kind of use that as a little bit of a rallying point, and a call of togetherness and community for the people that are there to hear it. So that success for me is just being able to continue to play with my friends and get the message out.
I think, like, for me, because it's, obviously the dream would be if you sign to a major label, go touring all the time, release an album every year or two, and just run it like a business. But kind of the truth is, right now we all have lives. I got kids, or I'm married. So it's tough to kind of like drop that stuff or work around life. But success really to me is just like when I write music like I want to hear, that like just fills a void or something like that, evokes emotion from me. That was kind of like the whole kind of reason why I started writing music, is just to like communicate my thoughts in a different way artistically that I couldn't do through any other means. So really at the end of the day, it's kind of about like, did I write something that I'm proud of? And if it, touched someone else's life, in a positive way, that's just an added bonus too. And then to be able to perform it and make them feel that live is the cherry on top of that too as well.
Yeah,
For sure.
basically, I mean, you guys both said it like really, really well. I feel the same way about both those things. But for me, probably just recording stuff and playing shows. I mean, honestly, like playing out the touring thing. I mean, I feel like we're super capable of that. But that would be like success for me, is just playing shows, doing like a tour, writing new material, and like, so basically both of what you guys said, but like pretty heavy on the playing shows thing, and also like playing music that like, if somebody comes out to see your band and like they feel something because of that, you know what I mean? Like we all know what it's like to go to like a show that just gives you some feel, like local band or major like this. Do you guys know the band Vanna by any chance? VANNA.
I do not, but I'll look them up for sure.
They're sick.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're wicked OG, but they have a new band. So the original member is called In Spirit. Basically the same thing, but they just did a 15-year reunion show of like this album that came out 15 years ago, whatever year that was. But
That's cool.
it was awesome. But it was, and they're huge around here in New England and stuff. Like, wow, they could have gotten a little bigger nationally, but like maybe wrong time. Anyways, point being, going to that show is just the vibe, the aura, the energy was unreal. But yeah, you know what it's like to go to a show, and like it's even better when you go to a local show. And
Shows are my therapy, so I know exactly what you're talking about. If I can get to a show, it makes me feel so much better after.
right,
Get into that mosh pit too.
not me.
Let out some aggression in there.
I don't want to see you in the mosh pit after like, you just said that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't usually stay for very long. I go in, I kind of push at people around, and I just run out. I'm like, no, I'm gonna get hurt.
So everybody's considered safe then. Actually, I would like to see you in a mosh pit so we can chat a little longer.
My 14-year-old actually went into the mosh pit this year,
Nice.
and she was like in and out. She was like,
Yeah.
Right, that was funny.
And just adding something to what Josh said there, because it
Yes.
talking about like reunion shows and stuff, is having your band mean as much to just random strangers as it does to you. Like, I think that is the best feeling that you could ever have, because we put so much of ourselves into the music, and to know
Yes.
that other people, feel that same way or get that same emotion, or it can mean something completely different to them. But seeing how that manifests is like really cool. So
That's amazing. I love those answers. I mean, there's no bad answer. It's such a good question to see, because everybody has their own definition of success. Everybody has their own. But it always comes back down to the music. And if it could touch somebody, if it could do to them what it does to me, it's success. Speaking of music, we're going to play one of your songs. I'm going to play, you guys gave me two, so I'm going to play No Longer Myself first.
sounds good.
You guys want to give us a quick introduction to the song?
So this song I wrote about mental illness. I lost my grandmother to dementia last year, so that played heavily into writing this song. And it's a kind of a little bit of a split between what we had to watch her go through, but also like what I was going through internally, and how the two kind of blend together. You kind of experience that same feeling of who am I, how do I deal with this, kind of vibe as they're also, sort of devolving into not knowing, who they are anymore, or dealing with that, the symptoms of that. So that's what the song's about.
All right. Well, we'll be right back, guys. Enjoy the song. No Longer Myself, House Lights.
Holding on is hard to do when all these thoughts fall through your fingers. The words linger on your tongue. See through eyes blind from staring into the sun. Can you turn on the light? Connect the fuses. Miskin feeling so tight, covered in bruises. Gripping on so tight. Familiar turns to fright. Memories ever repeating a storm that will beat us. Death of night, the silence will be a relief. Every day is a new day, is the same day as yesterday. Am I crazy? Am I going insane? Gripping on so tight. Familiar turns to fright. Memories ever repeating a storm that will beat us. Death of night, the silence will be a relief. Red one day, the absence of clarity will fade. All the pieces of this puzzle fit back into place. You will see the truest version of me. The love in the eyes so unforgotten. A picture of moments that made these memories ever repeating a storm that will beat us. Death of night, the silence will be a relief. Every day is the same, a storm that will beat us. Death of night, the silence is the same day as yesterday.
That was amazing. I was vibing.
one.
I wasn't ready for this to be over. Like, it just wanted
No,
to keep
I
going.
was waiting for more.
Play it again. Play it. We have
That
this
was-
on live.
Keep playing it for an hour just on repeat.
Yeah.
Put on your playlist and keep playing it. I will be so honestly love it.
Thank you.
The
Yeah.
song Rest that we have, last second of it is, every time we play it, like when we get done playing it live, it was actually after the first show, I was like, yeah, let's play that, we gotta play that song twice. And it's, that's like probably my favorite song. But it's just one of those ones I don't want it to like be over as doesn't go into it.
Yeah.
What is it? Something something it makes you feel? Is it a riff? Is it what is it?
It's like I don't know. It's a really good song. Yeah, I guess it's like something like the chorus of that song is like the chord progression, the chorus of that song. Like Sam, your vocal melody is awesome in that. You know what I mean? That's the case with like most of the songs, every song I've heard. You know what I mean? But Rest, I think it's like the chord progression. It's like a straight up song, like But yeah, it's the chorus of that song is really really fun.
Sarah, you got a question for them?
Do you guys tour very often?
Not yet.
No,
Not yet.
Not yet. We were looking to do. We just started playing shows again.
Okay.
When Matt and I released the EP back in 2014, we didn't play behind it at all. It was
Mhm.
just him, myself, and the screamer that's actually on this album, Bobby. He was from our original band as well, so he's been heavily involved in a lot of our music. So our first show was back in April as House Lights. We've played I think 3 or 4 so far this year. We were trying to get a tour, kind of like a little New England weekender tour, booked, but didn't really get that yet. So we'll look for next year. We'll definitely try to do probably a couple weekenders. Definitely get around New England some more. So
Yeah, and also, I mean, one thing that's what's so nice about like the East Coast, at least, is a lot of the cities are so clumped together that I would love to just go down the East Coast, for a week or something would be awesome too. But we also, as House Lights, we just recently started playing shows this year. But Sam and I were in a band a long time ago. Called Horns Become Halos. You can't find anything online, anything anymore about it. But
the old stuff's on YouTube still.
Some of the stuff's still there, but don't look it up at that. But it's we played a whole bunch of shows around New England too as well. Like we go to Maine, Vermont, stuff like that. We played a couple different places there in that band too as well. So we're used to playing shows.
All right, if y'all ever get down south, let us know because I'd love to come see you all.
Yeah, absolutely. My wife's family is from South Carolina, so I'd love to play down there.
Oh, it's Mel.
There you go.
Up in Virginia. So when I came on, I didn't know where you guys were located, but now hearing New England and Maine and all that, I get an idea.
Yeah, we're in New Hampshire.
Wow.
So the one everybody forgets about.
Yeah.
No. I forget about Long Island or Rhode Island, but we recently had a band, a show Mel and I shot from up there, and I'm like, didn't know they had that up there.
Yeah, there's always been a really good music scene in New England. It kind of comes and goes, but we're in another boom right now, so it's super awesome to be a part of it. There's so many good bands right now. They're crushing the scene, especially like the hardcore, kind of the heavier metal scene up here is really, really good.
I think it's taking over the world, to be honest, because I talk with people all over the world, and metal, rock, like heavy rock, heavy metal is starting to. Down here, that's all we have basically. And I'm surprised because I'm I'm in North Carolina. This should be country zone, And I see more metal shows. I mean, it also is the community that I'm part of, but metal music right now is doing really well, which I'm really happy.
I think we're just not out there looking for anything out of metal is the thing.
I always welcome everybody. Monday, if you guys caught the episode on Monday, I had Statues, which is a hip-hop duo. One of the only non-metal bands I've had on the podcast, and they came back because they were on the show last year. They came back this year because they had a special feature on their album. They had Bizarre from D12 on their album, so
sick.
It was nice to talk about that. Yeah, that was really cool. If you guys could have a superpower, what would it be?
You guys start off with this one.
Oh gosh. It was funny. I was listening to the radio earlier today, and there was a similar question. It was, would you rather be able to transport yourself anywhere instantly, or travel in time? I think I would probably I think I like the idea of being able to just instantly teleport wherever I wanted to be, because you could accomplish so many things. Obviously there's I could teleport into a bank and then out of a bank, but you could go anywhere. You could go backstage and see your favorite artists.
Makes touring easy too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. I want to go to France, for a couple hours and do that. So I think teleportation would be mine.
Yeah.
I might need a second on this. I was gonna say to just not be late, to be punctual with things. But that's a miracle. That's not a superpower. That I don't really know.
I'll jump in. Because I got mine. Teleporting would be dope, but I'm always running out of time. So if I could clone myself, there's always so much that I want to do in the day. So if there was just two or three other me's that I could just you go do this and
Singing Sam and screaming Sam.
well, I mean, if I could, yeah, if I had like a twin
Both
that
at
we
the
could do
show.
at the same time, that'd be dope. And then I can send one of me to work, and I'd
Right? Focus on
You-
music. There you go.
That's an interesting question. What about you guys?
Oh, mine's always having multiple me's because of how many kids we've got and how much housework and photos I've got to edit. It's always multiple. Mel,
Flying. Mm. Good old teleportation, but flying. Just, I don't know. There's something about looking up at the sky and seeing birds and just how free they are. I don't know. Always made me dream. So flying would be it. Although I'm terrified of heights.
that's what I was about to say. I throw up.
that one always messes me up because I'm like, yeah, like it'd be cool to fly, but then you would be afraid all the time, even though you can control yourself. Like, just it's.
I'd probably go up and like,
Yeah.
yay, and then pass out because I'm too afraid and then start
Right.
plummeting. Like, it would, disaster. Disaster waiting to happen. But flying would be like just in a plane. I mean, flying in a plane and seeing the clouds, and I'm always, so flying for real and be able to just go through it. That'd be amazing.
It might be different if you're doing it, but I've been on an airplane one time and I begged my mom to come to Florida to pick me up because I got so sick on that airplane.
Oh.
I had an anxiety attack, and it was right after, remember when the geese, like the Sully plane thing?
Yep.
2 weeks after that, we flew to Florida for our senior trip, and somebody's like, oh, look, a flock of geese. And sure enough, we had geese below us, and I'm like, nope, I'm going home by car.
What else you got, Josh? You're not getting out of one.
Dude,
Yeah.
I know. All I could say.
He
is,
was hoping.
I thought I like got out of it. No, I keep on thinking like
We
that was like a pretty rambly, like good question. I'm just thinking of all the different ones. I don't know, man.
Just don't overthink it. You
Don't
you know
overthink it. First thing that comes to mind.
the genie comes to you right now and tells you I could give you a superpower. You got
good.
10 seconds.
Be good at guitar.
There you go. Somebody said having like a flash drive where they can input any information, any kind of stuff that they had about music and just knowledge. I was like, yeah, that's a good one.
Pretty good. If you guys could have anybody featured on an album with you, who would it be?
Anybody?
Dead or alive.
Dead or
I mean-
alive, local or big.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day because we do want to start doing some collabs. I definitely there's a lot of good talent in the local scene that I want to get on. But if I could have anyone on, I mean, Dallas Green would be one of my top people. Matt and I are both super into NYXUS on Fire. They're another one of our biggest influences. So having him and or George on one of our albums, well, we can write the music. They just come in, they can do whatever they want vocally. Like that would be insane.
What about you?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Yeah, there's so many amazing vocalists that would be cool to have a guest spot. Unfortunately, he's passed away, but like Chester Bennington of Linkin Park was like my favorite singer of all time, and so he would have been incredible. And then if I look at like guitarists that I think I would like really like to see, I think the guitarist from, I don't even know his name, but from Seosin, I've always loved their style. Like especially their lead guitar player. I think they've changed their lineup a couple times throughout the years, but their guitar riffs are just so amazing, and I would love to like collaborate with one of them.
That's a good one. I was gonna say like Slash. I mean, that's not even. I almost didn't want to say it. I said it. You took it out of me. I don't know. That's Chester Bennington. I don't really have like an answer for that. Right. Oh, wow, dude. I'm stumped, man.
Yeah. And another one, a bonus one. I don't know if you can see behind me all of these vinyls. So I switch these out from time to time. These are all Miley Cyrus vinyls, her whole discography. My wife is obsessed with Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus follows my wife on Twitter, one of only like 90 people that she follows. And she has a Miley Cyrus tattoo and everything. And I, by proxy, love Miley Cyrus as well. She would be amazing. Like
I don't hate Miley Cyrus. I don't hate
rock voice. Like when she does like rock music, she does a couple covers of like Led Zeppelin stuff. Like she's amazing. So
she did that song with Stevie Nicks there, and it's just. I mean, I'm a big Stevie Nicks fan. I like Miley now.
Yeah.
You know, not Disney Miley.
Right. Yeah.
I was a little too. No, I was a little too old to, you know, kind of like the Disney Miley. When she came out of that and became who she really is and found her own voice, absolutely.
Yeah.
Miley is.
I had a cousin who was into Hannah Montana, and I was at that point where I wanted to marry Marilyn Manson, and I'm like,
oh no,
oh, this ain't it for me. She's like, no. I never could. I mean, she's got a good voice. Like maybe as a person, I'm not big on her, but her voice, she's got a little bit of grit and gravel to it, and I think she could do really good things with it if she wanted to go a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
Oh, she's been heavy. Like, do your research on Miley. She's pretty badass.
Or even like I hear like Post Malone. Like Post Malone's been doing like every genre known to man.
Yeah.
Right now, but apparently he has like a metal album ready that he hasn't released. I would love to hear that.
Yeah.
That would be nice. That would be nice to release.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say like I don't know if you guys got Billy Strength, the bluegrass guy. He was into like
Yeah, get the mic closer.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Sorry.
Take the mic.
Even I don't know if you guys know Billy Strings, the new he's like a bluegrass guy. He's wicked. Oh man, I think you guys would like him a lot. He was in some like metalcore bands, like mathcore, some like crazy stuff, and you hear his bluegrass music, and he's got like the typical like bluegrass voice. It doesn't sound like he even have any business picking up like an electric guitar, but like he did like an impromptu performance with that band a couple months ago, and like it was sick. Yeah, I like that cross genre stuff. Or like if somebody grows up listening to metal or something and like was in bands like that, and kind of like Hardy, you know what I mean, the country guy.
Yeah.
I don't know him too much, but like I mean you look at him play and stuff, like he definitely looks like an old metalcore vocalist. I saw a thing on ultimateguitartab.com like when I was in high school about Dave Mustaine saying like, oh, Nashville's just a bunch of like metal guitar players that couldn't make it or something like that. And I was like, and my friend who's actually like in a touring country band now, he was like, he posted up here, he was like, oh, like Dave Mustaine doesn't know what he's talking about. He's locked up and stuff. And like, but like Nashville now is like, there's a bunch of like metalcore, you know, guys and girls down there that like are doing that and bringing it in. But like country's not country anymore anyway, so I'm not
it's not.
I'm not getting off my lawn, you know, being the get off my lawn guy about it and
Oh, what they call country now is very different from what they used to call country. But then again, million subgenres. So you know, it's pop, country, rock, alternative, y'alternative.
I wanted to backtrack when we was talking about the vocal collabs. You would sound amazing with this guy that we've got down here. I don't know if you've ever heard of Elderbug. It's a local band we have down here. Their lead singer is from New York. His name is Lucas Patrick. Your vocals would go together so well. If you get a chance, look him up. I work for his record label. Y'all could do something together. It's really good. But no, the pitch, the sound, everything, because they're alternative. You know, they're like emo and metal together. I will always tell people to go look up Simple and Clean. They cover Final Fantasy songs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then they've got Lavender Town Syndrome, and that's what made me think of you guys would work so well together.
Sick. I'll definitely check them out.
Yeah. What was the name of the band again?
Elderbug.
Cool.
As
Yeah,
if I'm not Silverberg.
I mean, there's so many people. It's such a loaded question. Just who,
Yeah.
I definitely I want doors always open. Haley Williams, Courtney LaPlante, just, call us. Like,
Yeah.
Just please answer my messages. I'm like,
yeah, yeah. There's so many good artists. It's hard to pick, but
It is.
How Melina or with people we want to bring on the show. It's like we're in Lorna Shore and Sleep Tokens inbox.
oh,
Just
nice.
went open.
Yeah.
One
Hey.
day.
Keep on knocking.
Yeah.
You just keep on knocking, and one day somebody will give you. It's for me. I don't care whether you have 2 followers or 1,000,000 followers. If you're making music, we're gonna talk.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that one follower might be me.
It's like, I'm your biggest fan. You need to come on the podcast, please.
yeah, I was just saying it's cool that you like set this up and like have talked to so many people and been doing it for as long.
Well, I was in a band before I started the podcast. Shit happened, and I had to dip out. Then I moved here. Have a beautiful fiance. We have 3 kids together. So, as you were saying earlier, having 3 kids is now my priority. So, I had to stay at home. So I figured do something, stay in the music world, which is my world that I love, that saved me. So here we are. I'm working on music now. The intro that you hear for the podcast is actually something that I'm working on with a friend, Rob
Sick.
Volkov. It's going to be my first song coming back. So
Sounded good. I was bopping
Yeah.
to it. I was like, all right.
I always vibe to it, and it ends so quick, and I'm like, we need more than 30
Yeah.
well, yeah, we didn't want to give too much. That's just a little part of the intro. I mean, I was like, make it big, make it like a 6-minute song, and he was like, you fucking diva.
It's
Oh,
good
man.
though.
I'm coming back. Give me my big roll out the carpet. No, I'm just kidding. But I love what I do, and I love being able to sit down with bands and discover new music. I mean, my I barely listen to any mainstream music anymore because I don't go to concerts. I missed In This Moment because instead of going to In This Moment, I went to 2 festivals with indie bands.
Yeah.
You gotta make your decisions, and I mean the entertainment and the the value money, like $20 for a festival where you get 10 bands. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did the same thing. I was gonna go see Sleep Token, and Elderbug was putting on a festival, and I'm like, I'm gonna give up Sleep Token because I saw Blue Ridge, and I'm going to go work this festival because I love Elderbug and all the bands that was playing.
So yeah.
Also, congrats on surviving Blue Ridge.
Thank you. We had a whole episode about Blue Ridge last year, and that's how Mel and I got linked up.
yep.
It was rough. I had my at the time she was 13-year-old, and it was rough.
Yeah.
She was sick. There was not a lot of shade, and it was like 90, 100 degrees. It was fucking. We spent a lot of time in the medical tent.
Wow.
It was bad. It was definitely bad.
Okay. We had fun. We got great pictures. But what it done to our body and our wallet afterwards,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm gonna go to my local shows. I was gonna go to Babylon Life, and then we got media for Bruce Stock, and I'm like, fuck it.
I still spend ungodly amounts of money, but on merch and on stuff that goes back to the bands.
And
All right,
direct
guys.
to the bands.
We got one last song to listen to, and then we'll come back. We'll have a few songs, and I will let you guys go. It is Friday night. People have other stuff to do, and I do have another of this to do at 9 o'clock tonight. So let's set it up. Love and Understanding. Why this song?
So this was our first single that we released last July, I think it was.
Somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure it was July. So this was always kind of like the main track. It was the first one that we had fully written. This song was, kind of the first thing that we, finished coming back again from such a long absence. And this song for me, it's really about what I think we need more of in the world. There's so much just crazy nonsense that happens that it makes you feel like you have no support and that people are just always against each other. So I wanted to try to write something to sort of capture that, but let people know, like, if nothing else, if you need somebody to talk to, if you need just someone to sit with and someone to kind of help you through something, that we are here, we're going through the same stuff. Be kinder to people, give people more grace as you move through life, because you never know what they're going through. And most of the time, even when we're having a bad day, you probably having a worse day.
Yeah. And talking about like influences from weird places too, didn't you write the lyrics to the song right after seeing like a reggae act or something?
Actually, yeah, I saw, pretty sure it was Kabaka Pyramid, who's one of my favorite reggae artists, one of the best ones doing modern reggae right now. And there was just I had just gone to the show, and there was just such a vibe of just community, and everyone was just so friendly and making sure everyone else is having a good time. That definitely caught that bug, and I was like, oh yes, like we need more of this. This is exactly right.
Yeah.
So
All right, well, let's take a listen and we'll be right back. So, Love and Understanding, House Lights. We'll see you in a few minutes, guys.
Inside, we're all the same. Unite to reclaim. I know I'm struggling today. Everything feels out of place. It's so easy to forget the struggle that so many face. You're not alone in this battle you're fighting. You're not alone, I'm beside you, still fighting. Light me up, inside, we're all the same. Unite to reclaim love and understanding before it's too late. I've got you. Do you got me too? Fight till I bleed for these words that I say. Sensitive like conflict. I catch myself remembering shattering dreams that were not what they seemed. Oh, the price was too high. Yeah, I fell. When I rode through a realm of disassociation, turned pain into motivation. In spite of my creation, my hands reaching out above you, my voice speaking out. I love you, I love you. Light me up, like a black incineration from the past. All our world, we can
We're back. Amazing sound. I
Yeah.
love it. Again, I was not ready. I was not ready to. I know what I'm going to be listening to later when I'm going to be editing some pictures.
Oh, thank you.
Just saying.
It did bring a tear to my eye. I'm like, you can't cry on live. No, it was beautiful because we do need more people that do need to work with other people. When you see somebody that's going through something, you need to be like, hey, I'm here for you. And that's why
Yeah.
I love the metal community, because everybody's there for each other if they see you going through something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just hit the little heartstrings and brought a
Yeah.
tear to my eye.
Thank you
We
so
try to
much.
have that like positive vibe and
Mhm.
yeah, supporting each other and looking out for each other and yeah, and try to uplift each other because at the end of the day, we have so much more in common with each other than our differences. Like no matter
Yeah.
what your political views are, whatever your stances are, like we're all humans. We're all going through this together. So it's
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. It is something that's important. Mental health has always been something that we addressed on the show. There's lines that you guys can call if anything, but if you don't want to, my DMs are always open. I will get back to you guys. Anybody that's listening, you guys here. I mean,
Same here.
that's what we can do for people. I mean,
Mel and I check in on each other every other day when we've got a second.
absolutely.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, seriously. I mean, like, I believe it. You know what I mean? Like, that's really cool. It's nice
And
to
you have
hear
you have to be able to also give your friends some you know what I mean. Like I barely reached out this week to Sarah, and she messaged me today. She was like, "Podcast," and I was like, "Yep, sorry, bad
I was like,
headdspace,"
okay.
you know.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
It's so difficult, you know, because it is so easy to just get lost in the negative thoughts, and then you're not in a position to help anyone else. You can't even see it most of the time, you know. You don't realize it's happening.
Yep.
You know, you almost have to force yourself, like, hey, have I talked to anybody today? Like, have I checked in with anybody? Time to do
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. Well,
You know,
there,
I
there's
was all
there's
the
so bunch of nice guys, Sarah. How about you play the evil question on them though? I mean, you guys are nice, but you're still gonna get the evil
You
question.
get the question. Don't hate us. All right.
You think the superpower one was hard? I mean,
You ain't ready. There's been an evil curse placed upon you, and you can only listen to one song for the rest of your life, not an album. Just one song. What is it?
Oh man,
boy.
Constant loop in your head.
Well, I know for me, I'm gonna pick like a long ass song. 'Cause, like, I want someone with dynamics. I'm a huge Tool fan, so they have so many really long songs. So I'd
Yeah.
probably say Third Eye by Tool. It's like a 13.5-minute song.
Yeah.
So that it's got that going for it. It's got so many dynamics, so many different parts. So at least like it'll take me a little bit longer to grow sick of it.
I'm gonna have to make this evil question even harder. Like you can't stop it to like stop the song and create like 2 or 3 songs. Like I'm gonna have to twist that question because
Yeah.
this
That's
is
why I
a
said
good
it's
cop
on
out. I
loop.
like that. Yeah, I like that one.
On loop.
I got to give it to Sam for a sec.
oh boy. Oh man. I mean, for me, I love singing. So my head will always go to like, what's a song that almost, you know, anytime it's on, I'm gonna be, you know, belting it as loud as I can. God, it's still such a hard
Oh, yeah.
question to answer, but,
Definitely.
you know, definitely, you know, Thursday, War All the Time is one of my absolute favorite songs. Just so emotionally rich, and it takes me to a place every time I hear it. So that's probably one. I would say, you know, Coming Home by City and Color would be another one that I could probably just, you know, that's one I think everybody can relate to.
But that's
matter-
2 songs. So
Yeah.
you gotta give me one.
I
You gotta pick one.
I gave one. They'll go with
There you go.
Thursday War All the Time.
There you go.
All right. The obvious answer would be a Morgan Wallen song. I'm just kidding. I'm
What?
joking. I know. I'm joking.
I'm
I just
kidding.
had a haircut recently, and like the girl, there was a bunch of Morgan Wallen playing. She has like no business like listening. I was like, oh, she's asking me about like my hair. I'm like, yeah, give me the Morgan Wallen haircut, and it's a big trope when you go to Nashville and stuff. I've been there a couple times. Like everybody's always like, calling for Morgan Wallen, like. And like even some of like the country guys online, they kind of like it's like the trope. It's like the come to Brazil thing that I've seen artists like comment on other artists' page. All right, but on a real
Yeah,
note,
stop stalling.
it's hard to pick a song. Like it's got to be something with Slash or Guns N' Roses, probably like a Slash song. My favorite song used to be like Welcome to the Jungle, but like, dude, I don't know. Maybe we're gonna have to save it for the next podcast.
Well, there you go. We'll give him.
Yeah,
We'll give him.
You're going welcome.
We'll
to
give
Jungle.
you a
That's-
grace.
That's your answer.
Yeah. Have that
For
people,
now.
man.
We'll revisit when you guys eventually come back. We'll revisit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Probably the-
But if you guys want to come back later on when you guys have some stuff out,
Yeah.
doing some shows, stuff to promo, we always
Yeah.
love to have people back and see where the journey has brought them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we're working on a lot of new stuff right now. We've got the bug still. It's a lot of music in the works. We're looking at either releasing another full album or maybe a double EP or something next year. So
Yeah, we
Very
got
nice.
a lot coming up, like 10 songs in progress right now. So, and then we're just looking at what's the best way to release them. It seems as these days, nobody wants a full-length album; they just want singles.
Yep.
We're kind of old school where we like
Yeah.
albums and EPs.
I like albums.
So I
it's
like.
gonna come back. It's gonna come.
Yeah.
Everything's
I bet-
cyclical.
Some people are doing, they're putting out like 2 or 3 singles, and then they'll put out an EP, which will
Yeah.
include those
Yeah.
3 singles and like 2 new songs that we haven't heard. Like, so you guys could go that route too.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to lead singer Lana Day, and I'm like, when we're gonna get a new album? They're like, we're not doing albums anymore. We're just gonna do singles, and I'm like, really? But we're getting the music. It's just a little slower process. But I like to get it all at once in bulk.
Yeah, but that you like that, but the world today, the new generation don't do full albums anymore. They
Yeah.
do singles, they do
Yeah.
playlists, they do the good old days of sitting down and actually listening to an album and it made sense. Where the songs in this moment does that. If you don't listen to the album in order, it
You're not
kind
gonna
of
get it.
jumps around. It's kind of weird, and that's what I love about albums.
Yeah.
Social media, where's the best place to follow you guys? Because there's so many platforms. Where do we follow to get all the information?
Yeah, I mean, we have accounts everywhere. We got Instagram, House Lights, nothing special or fancy, just at House Lights. We got a Facebook, facebook.com/houselights. You can find our link tree. We got links to everything we do there. Our Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, wherever you listen to music.
We are
Everywhere.
On TikTok,
Yeah,
right? We are on TikTok.
yeah, we're on TikTok,
Oh.
although we use it sparingly.
Yeah, we're not great, but
Yeah.
we're on there.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's something we need to get better at is like posting on socials. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely it's a young person's game. We got to get better at it.
it is. I'm
That was
actually
a lot
looking
better.
into. I'm looking into getting a manager to help me out
Oh,
with all that
nice.
shit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I can't keep up. I'm doing the TikTok thing now. I'm live every day on TikTok. I'm trying to get the followers over there. Probably bring some of the podcast over there at one point. It's hot right now. TikTok is one of the best places for lives right now. The traffic is pretty good. Now it's just gotta find your niche, gotta find your people. So some people get it done like that. I'm old. So my 14-year-old is helping me. I post a video, I have like 10 likes on it. She posts a video, an hour later, she's like 300 likes. I'm like,
I need to borrow Sophie. Tira won't help me.
no, go away. She's mine.
Oh,
No, get your own. You have your own 14-year-old. Get your own
she only
14-year-old.
does one platform, and that's Facebook. She don't do nothing else.
Wow.
Oh, well, I mean, they're like old ladies. My kid rocks with Werther's Originals and those strawberry
Hey.
candies, hard
Oh.
candies.
I'll eat Werther's Originals any day.
With her
Oh,
bottle of
yes.
Biofreeze. I
Yes.
made so
We
much
was at
fun
a
of her.
festival.
Oh, my God.
We did brew stock, and Sophie had BioFreeze or Icy Hot in a bag, and she's like, my hips hurt, and I'm like, please, I am 33, and after the show, my knee was gone for a
you
week.
don't know
I
what
was
it's
in a
like.
brace.
Yeah, you
And-
just wait. It's like,
Right. Oh, they did color guard for 2 weeks. So, oof.
oh.
They're exhausted now, and I give them a lot of shit, but you know it's some hard work that they're doing for sure. Before I get into the last question of the night that I do at every episode, is there anything you would like to add? Something that we didn't ask? Anybody that you'd like to thank? Sponsors? I don't know. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I guess I'll start. First thing, we have a show tomorrow for anybody that's up in the New England area. We're playing Fucci's in Concord, New Hampshire. So if you can, please come on down. We're playing with 2000s and Black Hatch. It's going to be a sick show. I want to thank, I'll thank Adam, who did the drums for our album and still is doing some drums for our some of our newer stuff. He's our original drummer from our first band, Horns and Camelos, and he's kind of kept on with us as well throughout our career. So it's kind of cool to just be able to have, sort of all the OG members just in a different, different format. I want to thank the rest of the band, Matt, Josh, Ethan, and Opie, who is our fill-in drummer right now. He's in a sick band called Empty Halls. Really great guy. He's been helping us out a ton while we've been looking for a new drummer. But everybody's just sick. They've been doing a killer job of helping, Matt and I put on the shows that we've been hoping to do forever. Thank my wife, Bridget, for putting up with all my shenanigans and being gone for shows on the weekends when she wants to hang out. So, but yeah.
They make a lot of sacrifices. They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to thank anyone that takes a second out of their day to listen to us. Give us a shot. I really appreciate it.
The kids are running up.
But yeah, we pour our heart and souls into this, and like I said, if it sounds good to me, that's what I release and what I like, and if it connects with someone else, that's even better. So it's really great to see people listening and knowing the words to our songs. That to me is almost like a holy grail. Is like someone who knows where the song's going to go and what the words are. It's like, oh my god, I made it. Yeah.
Again, like you guys both said it all. I'd like to thank everybody in the band, Sam and Matt, like you guys big time. Bobby, Adam, Ethan, our bass player. But big ups to you, Sam, too, for setting up all the shows and everything, and with your booking company and just everything. Thank you all, you guys. Thank you, Melanie and Sarah, for having us and setting it up. And I don't know, I'd like to thank everybody who.
I'd also like to thank the Academy and beyond.
Well, we're so glad to have you guys on. Y'all are amazing.
Thank you.
We usually have a few more questions, and Mel's going to get to hers, but I was going to ask one of the questions that we do ask before the big question. If you could form your own lineup on a tour, who would you have with you on tour?
Is this just something we're seeing the show, or are we on the?
No,
we're on the
we're playing.
You're headliner, and you've got 4 other bands to opener and so on and so forth.
All right, I'll start off because as Josh mentioned, I work with a booking company, so I'm got a lot of bands on the brain all the time, and I'm always looking for bands that we would fit well with.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely start off with Judgment. It's a new band that we recently discovered from California. Super sick post-hardcore band. Osatia. They're a good band out of the Portland area. Sort of like a Sleeping with Sirens type vibe. I think they'd be dope to play with. Couple locals. It'd be dope to tour with Late Nine. My buddy Kai and all those guys, really sick punk metalcore band from the Boston area. They're doing a really good job. And I got one more. Oh boy. It's another band that I really like.
Man, time's up.
Yeah, come back to me. That's such a tough question. So many bands, but
I'm gonna go the total opposite direction. I'm gonna go like humongous bands that we
I went local. I went like indie type stuff. Like
we usually add it can be big or indie local.
I would have Blink-182 because they were a huge influence for me growing up and playing guitar, just like learning all their riffs, and they would be amazing to play with. I feel like they're like super cool dudes too. I would say Bring Me the Horizon, which is arguably like the biggest act in rock right now. Like they're huge and like Ollie is just insane. And then who else? Oh gosh, bring Linkin Park back. I think like although I don't think Chester's replaceable. Like there's been rumors of them like bringing back maybe a female singer or something, but I think it would be awesome if they would start playing shows again too.
You got one more. There's only 3.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
No,
you get 5.
Oh.
In your
Wow.
I mean, Alexis on Fire, as we mentioned before, is a huge influence, so I would love to play with them. And then another resurrected band I would love, although they got canceled. Brand New was a huge influence for me as well.
Okay.
You bringing up the Ollie's or Bring Me the Horizon thing, I think that's probably one of the answers I would have given for like a guest feature. I thought that too, but then I was like trying to think of somebody else that wasn't Morgan Wallen. Or wait, that was a different answer. I was kidding. I don't know. Those you guys both had pretty good answers. Mengia. Thursday would be smart. Alexis on Fire would be smart. Wow. Damn, dude. I don't know. That's a good question. Definitely a good question. It should be like easier to answer.
Well, if I'm going the selfish like dream tour route, okay, all famous bands. It's Alexis on Fire. It's Thursday. It's Thrice. It's The Used. We could probably throw Armor for Sleep on there. Would be sick. That's is that 5? Yeah, I think that's 5.
Yeah.
Including us. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, exactly. Like Thrice, that's a good one too.
Love Thrice. One of my favorite bands.
Headlines by my solo gig or something. I don't know. That's bad. But I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, I'd say like Alexis on Fire.
Hey, somebody's playing music over there. Let's go. Don't worry. I have a three-year-old usually running around screaming and announcing that he's going to the bathroom while I'm live, so don't worry about it.
3 girls, yeah. So I got a 3 8-year-old and an 11-year-old, so it's always something happening.
3, 12, and 14. I'm lucky I only have the 14-year-old here right now, so she's like in her room like a troll, like just on her phone and talking with her friends. So we don't worry about her.
It's good when they get to that age and you don't have to worry, but you do worry if they stay in there too long.
Oh no, I just have to make sure she eats. Other than that, I mean, you do you. But we're hitting that mark where unfortunately we're gonna have to let you guys go. But please do come back. Just let us know when you guys have the album or the singles or
tours.
We make promo shows also. So at 9:00 tonight, I'm doing a promo show with a festival, a Day of Rock festival. So I mean, I do everything. I just love it.
Awesome.
This question is, you take it how you want to take it. Some people take it very seriously. Some people give me the joke answer. So we got everything from, don't give up to drink more, drink less, and don't get married. So
don't get married, they're top.
Don't get married is usually the top answer, yes. So if you had a chance to sit down with a younger version of yourself at any point in your life, what would you tell yourself?
I guess I'll start. I would definitely say, whatever you want to do, just go for it. I've spent too much of my life now, and I'm kicking myself for it, of just being, embarrassed and not confident in my skills and my passions and what I want to try to do with my life. I let too many people bully me and put me down, and it really kept me from chasing my dreams for a long time. So don't listen to don't listen to the haters. If it makes you happy, do it.
Yeah,
Some good advice.
That is
That's a great
great
answer.
advice.
Yeah, just be yourself, be true to yourself. And then also, like, I wish I figured out the businessy aspects of music way sooner, because Sam and I have been in bands since we were 17, 18 years old, and I feel like if I knew everything that I knew now back then, I could have been touring with those bands I was just talking about a second ago. So I just would love to instill some of that businessy side of music, because when you look at it, obviously you create music as an art and as a form of expression, but if you do want to run it as your career, you do have to look at it as a business too, and a return on investment and all that stuff too. So I wish I would have kind of factored that in, because I think that's the coolest thing in the world, is to be able to do something you really love for a career, so to blend it would have been awesome to do that earlier on.
You guys have great questions. They're very thought provoking, not lazy, slob questions.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I don't know. Definitely something having to do with the guitar, dude. Learn your chords and your scales and stuff, so I didn't have to bring it in. Just simple little things like that.
Hold the mic up closer.
Oh, sorry. It would be tell myself to hold the mic up closer. But,
That's just pre-interview today. Just
30 seconds ago, you.
I don't know. It'd probably be learn more than 3/4 of a riff or something, or I was oh, I got 3/4 of Enter Sandman down. I'm good. But no, that's pretty thought provoking. Yeah, guitar stuff.
some good answers. There's no wrong answer. It's such a. I love that question, because you never know what way somebody's gonna take it. I mean, we've had tear moments, people going back and really going deep with mental health and stuff, and me just bawling my eyes out with them, and then we had moments of just pure
Beautiful
chaos.
stupidity.
Chaos with that question. So I love that question.
It's all therapy. It's all
Right.
therapy. So.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, Matt, Josh, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We appreciate it. We'll make sure to follow you guys. I'll make sure to add you guys on my playlist. I mean, like I said, I know what I'm listening to later. That's why I love doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, thank you both for having us.
Thank
Everybody
you, Melanie. Thank you, Sarah. You guys rock. It's been really, really cool to talk to you guys, and for all of us to hang out and everything. And thanks for just doing what you do.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
We've really enjoyed it. We love what we do, and we love getting to talk to new people and dig
right.
around in y'all's brains.
Well, this was the NYXUS Podcast, part 1 for tonight. I'll be back in about 40 minutes with a Day of Rock Festival. Make sure you follow House Lights on every streaming platform, on every social platform, because they're everywhere. So make sure you follow them everywhere. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you
Guys.
too.
Bye.